Good morning, my friends. Welcome to class. Let's get started. This is Foundations of English 9 for Tuesday, the 15th of September, 2020. Today we're going to prepare. So today we're looking at some announcements really quickly. We're going to go back through activity number 9, and then we're going to do activity 12, which is all about preparing to write your summary, which you will do tomorrow. Then we're going to go over your independent work. So a quick look back, this is from yesterday's video as well. These are your conferences tomorrow. Now remember, we don't have a live class on Wednesdays. There will be a short video for you explaining how to do your summary and where to complete it. But during our normal live class times, I will be on the Google Hangout. You're going to open it and then bring your parents along for one of the two times. It'll be exactly the same. So either the morning time or the afternoon time. And you're going to just come, they're going to hear about the class, and they can get any general questions answered. If you have questions about that, please let me know via email. Now yesterday I told you needed to have activity number 9 finished by today. That is because we're going to go over some of the answers. So one of the questions that every group had was about deliberate practice. The reason that every group had it was because it's one of the most important pieces in the article. So from paragraphs 12 to 21, he explains deliberate practice. The question asks you to look specifically at paragraphs 13 and 20, where he gives two specific examples, and say what the most important characteristics of deliberate practice are. So here's what a good answer would include. He says that deliberate practice is about having the right attitude, doing an activity not to get it done, but practicing with the goal at getting better, setting objectives beyond one's current ability, meaning going beyond where you are and trying to move forward as you practice, practicing consistently with lots of repetition, and getting feedback so you can make adjustments. So he's saying all 5 of those things are important for deliberate practice. A good answer in activity 9 would include all of those things. Let's look at another question. Group 1 had the question, what do you think is the purpose of the article? What does he hope his readers walk away with, and how might the article affect readers? A good answer would include something like this. His purpose seems to be to get readers to stop believing that being born with talent is what makes someone great, and to introduce his readers to the idea of deliberate practice so that his readers can work to become great themselves through deliberate practice. Let's look at another question. This is from group 2. In your own words, what question or problem makes the researchers want to study great performers? Why were the researchers trying to find out what makes people become great in their fields? So they were curious as to why most people who start by improving fail to keep improving. So when they start an activity, they get a lot better at it really quickly, and then they stop improving. And that's the question that launched this research. Let's look at one more question. This one's from group 3. What evidence does Colvin use to support his argument about what it takes to be great, and which do you find the most convincing and why? So this is a personal opinion question. This is asking you to take one of those 9 examples that he gives in the article and explain which is the most convincing to you. So to me, the Michael Jordan example was pretty convincing because he was cut from his high school basketball team, and that strengthens Colvin's argument, especially about the amount of practicing that Jordan did while he was in the NBA and trying to get to the NBA. So a good answer again would say who, which of the 9 people, and then what made it convincing to you. So that goes over 2 of the answers for every single group, and it also covers almost all of the things that you were supposed to find out of activity 9 and that you're going to use in your summary. So hopefully going over it a little bit helps you reflect back on your own answers, and you can add some things where your answers are not quite as clear or maybe don't have as much detail as they need. Activity 12 takes you through that summary guide that you looked at yesterday, the one that you wrote about in Canvas on your activity discussion post. What you're going to do on this activity is go through each of the 6 parts, so each of the 6 sentences, and you're going to highlight in the article where you find that information. So you can see on the screenshot there, I've done the first one for you. So in sentence 1, you're supposed to find the author, the title of the article. So I've taken the color for sentence 1, that kind of reddish color, and I've highlighted the title and the author. You still need to find when and where the article was published, and then the topic of the article. And then you're going to go through sentence 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and do the same thing. So you're looking through the article to find where it talks about that specific thing, and you're highlighting that section. For some of them, you may need to highlight multiple sections. So let's take a look in the document just so you know how to do this. So here's activity 12. You're going to find the thing you want to highlight. You're going to select it and then choose the highlighter tool. And then I've used this first row of sort of the washed out colors just because I find it easier to read through. So you have the reds, the orange, the yellow, the green, and the blues and purple. I don't care if you match it exactly, but please do use one of these first two rows of lighter colors just so I can see through and you can read the text. So you choose the color and then it highlights it for you. And again, you're going to do that all the way through sentence 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for sentence 2, you're going to find an explanation of the question which first motivated the research into what it takes to be great. So you're going to look down here. I'll give you a hint that it is in this section of the article between paragraphs 3 and 7. When you find it, you're going to highlight it in orange. And then in yellow, you're looking for a statement of the belief of what makes someone great. So what do most people think makes someone great? That's the first part. And then his thesis statement, where he says his argument or the conclusion that he makes in this article. In sentence 4, you're looking for the features of deliberate practice. You already know that somewhere in paragraphs 12 to 21, because we talked about that in the beginning of the lesson. So for sentence 5, we actually did in activity 6 some highlighting of all of the 9 people with where those people are in the article. So you can always go back to that to find where those people are. And finally, a statement of the author's apparent purpose. What does he want you to learn as a result of reading this article? So once you've highlighted each of those things in each of the colors, you are done with this activity for today, and you have everything you need to draft your summary tomorrow. So that's the majority of your independent work for today. Besides doing activity 12, you need to go and do your Book of Knowledge and ReadWorks. This should be your 4th one for this series, and remember it's one of the 3 you do this week. So today, tomorrow, and Thursday. As always, if you have questions or need help, you know where to find me. Don't forget to remind your parents about tomorrow, and I hope I will see you and them then. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. See you tomorrow.